Hello everyone, I'm Aurelian and welcome back to the series in which we discuss the historical background and interesting facts about the vehicles of the popular game War Thunder. As you can see, we have the spooky Halloween hangar going on. It may be a little dark. Today we have the Heinkel He-51 in three variants, the A1, B1, and C1, serving as Germany's reserve lineup. The Heinkel He-51 is a single-seat biplane fighter which was the first true plane of the newly formed Luftwaffe of Germany in the 1930s, replacing the aging Arado AR-65 biplanes. The He-51 was developed sequentially by Heinkel Flugzeugwerk after several prototypes were made designated as He-49s. Due to the Treaty of Versailles, the He-49 and He-51 were labeled as, quote, trainer aircraft, although they were painfully obviously fighters. The Luftwaffe, along with other branches, had to secretly train and equip itself under the guise of various civilian schemes, such as civil aviation clubs, um, airlines, and glider clubs. Once the design decisions were finalized, the He-51 was its designation and entered into production, with the first flight being in 1933 and the first entered into service in 1934. A total of 700 planes were made across its various versions, and there were several different variants. The primary differences were in their construction methods, some being strengthened or designed for higher altitude, with more unique ones being the He-51B-2, which was a float plane, and the He-51C1, which is in-game, which was supposed to be a ground attack version. Due to the timing, the biplane was essentially obsolete as soon as it entered service, being outclassed by most other peer biplanes, such as the Russian I-15s and Italian CR-32s. We'll go over its armaments and specifications really quick. It's a metal construction with canvas over top, has a two-bladed wooden propeller. It is armed with two 7.92mm MG-17 machine guns mounted in front of the pilot, which fire through the propellers with 1,000 rounds of ammunition. The max speed is 318 kilometers an hour with a turn time of 13.3 seconds, powered by a BMW 6 12-cylinder engine making 788 horses. This same engine is used across all of them. The first two are unable to carry any bombs. However, the C1, being a ground attack version, can carry some 10 kilogram bombs. They do have a very slightly staggered double deck and a fixed undercarriage. I do kind of like their boxy nose. Overall, I love biplanes and how they look. Now, in terms of operational history, the He-51 only saw combat briefly during the Spanish Civil War in 1936 as part of the Condor Legion. The Spanish Civil War was fought between the Republican forces, supported by international volunteers, as well as Russia as a large backer, against the nationalist forces led by General Francisco Franco, supported by what would become the Axis powers, so Germany and Italy. The Condor Legion was a German quote-unquote volunteer unit which would fight alongside these nationalist forces. And it kind of became a test bed for German equipment and tactics prior to the Second World War kicking off in earnest. When the He-51s arrived in Spain on August 18, 1936, they performed well against the older biplanes used by Republican forces. However, the tide was soon turned when Russian I-15s, I-16s, and Tupolev SBs were introduced, being all around better than the He-51s, especially due to their slower speeds. The He-51 was then turned primarily into a close air support craft for the Condor Legion, the He-51C1 taking front and center. This allowed for development of close air support tactics, which turned into lessons learned for things like the Junkers Ju-87. This was spearheaded by the cousin of the World War I ace Manfred von Richthofen, the Red Baron. His cousin Wolfram von Richthofen was the leader of the air arm of the Condor Legion and developed these tactics. Fun fact, Manfred was actually killed in World War I because he got angry and went after some Allied fighter pilots who were attacking his cousin Wolfram. CR-32s and Bf-109s being delivered in the 1937-ish area were delivered to replace the He-51s in the fighter role. After the Spanish Civil War, the He-51 was then retired to being a training airframe. An interesting story with the He-51s was the airlift of Francisco Franco and his troops from Morocco to Spain. In July of 1936, Franco was stuck along with a decent portion of his troops in Morocco, since the Spanish Navy had mainly sided with the Republicans. The Germans, eager to assist, sent a fleet of Ju-52 transport aircraft, as well as a few Italian ones, under the guise of a tourism company which transported thousands of nationalist troops to mainland Spain. The members of this airlift were officially discharged from the German military and turned in their uniforms to maintain a level of plausible deniability, along with the Condor Legion. Flying escort to these transport aircraft were none other than the He-51s. I was also able to find at least one ace in the He-51 in Spain, Hans Trautloft, who claimed 5 kills. He also happened to be the first German pilot that was shot down in Spain, and funnily, since they did not have any uniforms when he parachuted down, he was in shorts and a t-shirt, which puzzled the ground forces that met him. In-game, this biplane, to me, is kind of just the bog standard in comparison to other reserve planes. It's decently maneuverable with a good turn time of 13 seconds, decent machine guns with the 7.92s, although not the best, but it suffers from being slower than most of its peers at 318 kilometers an hour. Now let's get into a battle here and show off the He-51s. Alright, welcome to the match. It looks like we are not up-tiered, thankfully. We're going to start out here in the... Oh, no, I take it back. We do have some Ki-27s. We're starting off in the A1 variant, which has the kind of parade camouflage going on here. We're going to kind of roll over here to the left, as we usually do, extending away from the main hairball, because we all know that Aurelian is really bad at combat. Not here for the cool facts, not for being good at the game. Now, historically, again, this mainly faced I-15s and I-16s from the Germans, but we have the opportunity to kind of expand that out a little bit. Okay, always love to see the low tier crashing into each other. We do have a TBD-1 here that we're going to try and get. There is a J6B a little low, but let's see if we can slot in on this TBD and avoid its rear gunner. Ooh, some good shots there on the TBD. I'm going to try and stay underneath as much as we can, so that way we don't get hit by its gunner. One nice thing that I find about the He-51 is that it does have a pretty fast rate of fire. However, that's a double-edged sword because that means that you run out of ammunition much quicker. We have an I-15 kind of going diagonal here. We're going to try and slot in behind. I am a little worried because of his superior machine guns and speed, but it's always worth a good fight since he's going into, it looks like, strafe our ground units. I'm going to take that opportunity to reload for a moment before we get into it with him, as I assume he will take a moment to turn here at any point. There he goes with his banking right turn. Hopefully he doesn't turn up towards us and head on. Oh, he did a little bit of a juke. We got a shot off. And thankfully we were able to get some nose authority, a couple of sparks, but nothing crazy. The maneuverability is what I like best about the He-51, as you can see, where we're out-turning I-15 and getting the kill. Now with the He-51C1, if we end up dying to be able to show it off, I am going to bring in with the little tiny bombs just for the hilarity of it and the historical accuracy, since it was supposed to be the ground attack version. For now, let's try and get some more aircraft kills. Catch up to the leaderboard there. Again, I don't really want to get stuck into a hairball, but if we have to, we have to. That BF-2C is looking like he wants a fight, although the P-26 will hopefully go for him? No? Okay. We'll go ahead and indulge his head-on briefly. As soon as he starts shooting, we're going to juke. Did set a fire, going to come up underneath here. Hopefully not get our kill stolen. No, good, no kill steals here. We do have an I-15 and P-26 coming in hot. I'm going to go after the P-26 since he does have the 50 cals. Although I should be concerned about the I-15. Got a severe damage. A little slower than us, so we're going to roll out and back onto his tail. Trying not to get into a wreck here with our teammates. We're going to roll out of that. They can have a kill. Although we did have severe damage, so we get the kill. Very good. Got a BF-2C coming in hot, fighting our P-26. Not super sure what's happening there, but it is what it is. We also have a P-26 coming in hot for us. So we're going to act like we don't notice, use that turn speed, get some shots, and boom. Pilot snipe. Uh-oh, monoplane alert with the He-112. We're going to try and get some hits here. He's going to be significantly faster than all of us, or maybe not. We're right on his tail. He is a little floaty with his gull wing design there, but we get a kill somehow. I'm going to extend out. I don't like being this far forward. We do have two planes over there coming in for some fight, but like sharks in the water, they can smell the blood, and it looked like they were going for the P-26. Yes, they are. We're going to roll back in and see if we can teach them not to mess with our friends. Although, we're about to very soon be outnumbered 3 versus 1 here. Yes, we are. This is going to be unfortunate. Won't lie to you. We got the severe damage. Oh, dear. Well, it is what it is. We'll come in here with the B1. Getting to see that tricolor camouflage here. And let's see if we can get down in there and get stuck in once again. leading the leaderboard. Very good to see, with 7 kills. Hopefully we can get in there before our team absolutely wipes everyone out. That He-51 looks like it did a number on our allies, so we are going to get some shots in, severe damage. That should help us beat our twin here. More crits. Hopefully no kill steal, and there we go. Okay, we have quite a few people coming in. We are going to try and fight all of them. Okay, right into them. That was, honestly, that was my bad. I should not have done that. Was trying to juke a little too late, so now we're going to come in with the He-51C1 and see if we can't try and be a little bit historically accurate and get some ground kills. We're going to go for some juicy looking targets over there with our very, very, very tiny, almost comically tiny things. I'm not sure that throwing a grenade out the window wouldn't be more effective, but hey, it is what it is. We don't want to leave our teammate hanging though, so I'm going to go ahead and jump in on this BF2C fight, although the F3F up there is looking a little scary. I need our teammate to kind of extend back to us. Oh dear, and he's out of the game. He's aiming for us. We're going to try and juke a little bit better this time. We were able to. BF2C is down. The F3F is trying to hit us. Oh, he is very much trying to hit us. Let's try and get our teammates to help us out here by just forcing some crazy turns and airspeed loss from him. Oh, he's super slow. Can we get the shots? Woo! Almost got hit. I'm going to go ahead and just roll out there and let my teammates finish him off. Oh, somehow I got the kill. Alright, let's try and hit some moving targets here. Be historically accurate. Channel our Wolfram von Richthofen. There we go. Boom! Got 2 whole targets. Let's see if we can get this last one with the bomb. Aim slightly ahead. Boom! And armored car down. Look at that. Can't forget the strafing runs. This one is a decent bit less maneuverable in my opinion, just based off of the little struts down there, but part of the game. Got another F3F coming in, heading on with the P-26. Hopefully they don't explode into each other. Very good, very good. He's got a decent amount of speed left. Let's see if we can get some good hits. Or I just miss completely because I am a Raelian. Whoa! Straight through the fireball. Cool guys, don't look at explosions. Little loop-de-loop for style. And mission complete. Again, just excellent maneuverability on these things. They do have flaps, which is a little unique for some biplanes to have flaps versus not. But just very good maneuverability. Just not the fastest of biplanes. The guns are decent though, as you can see. Fast fire rate. I like this plane. We got 10 kills. 3 ground kills with this He-51. I am a little confused as to what's taking so long here on the mission. We'll see our rewards. Technically there's one Russian one left. Let's see if we can buzz our... Oh, they just got blown up. That's unfortunate. My pilot is traumatized now with his oxygen mask for a biplane fighter that he wouldn't have. There we go. Alright, finished first place, 10 targets down, 2 deaths. I'd call that a good day. We'll see the rewards real quick. Love the terror of the sky. All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed learning about the HE-51s and their historical relevancy and a couple of cool stories about them. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.